Welcome back. Another episode of House of Cards. We are on episode number 28, and we are back with another Monday Mailbag. So that is awesome because I love doing these videos for you guys. It takes a whole week's worth of opening my mail to make one video, so they get a little long. But I was thinking about it today, and I want all the videos that I make to have some sort of a value component to them. So it's not just kind of background fluff or just kind of just showing off cards. But I when I'm buying cards on eBay, and primarily that's my main source of getting these cards raw here, is I really do my research, and I spend a lot of time, probably too much time, looking at eBay auctions and buy it nows, and really kind of feeling out the market, checking recent solds, trying to get a good feel for it, really diving into the condition of the cards as best as humanly possible. And if I can't, then I'll contact the seller and ask a bunch of questions. And anyways, the moral of the story is that I spend a lot of time doing this, so you guys can kind of get an idea of what I paid for it. And that's why I included how much I paid for it, because I really want you to see sort of are the cards I'm looking at overpriced. Maybe some of these cards you might be interested in too, so when you go to buy them, you can kind of use what I paid as a proxy, because there are obviously a lot of other copies that usually run for much more than what I paid. I'm a little bit of a stickler when it comes to paying even slightly above market value. I try my best. Sometimes it is what it is, and you want to get a card, or it's a PC card that you really want, and you might pay a little bit more. But if it's a card that I'm looking at as a potential investment for the future, then I'm definitely not trying to overpay on it. So I spent a lot of time doing all that research, and digging and diving around through eBay's garbage can full of auctions and crap, so you guys don't have to, and you can kind of see what I'm paying for it in a realistic format. I know we can all log on to Market Movers and all of these different platforms to look at pricing, but the realisticness is I'm a person that's doing this. It's not just a bunch of graphs and data all lumped together. I'm giving you one good example of someone that's really out there grinding for good prices. So with that said, I hope you find some value in these videos, and I know they run a little long, but I think it's kind of fun, and kind of a little voyeuristicness into my my hobby and how I collect. And maybe there's some things in there that you might know of, because I do the same when I watch other people's videos. I pick up some really cool cards that I didn't even know existed, and I go and research them and possibly buy them myself. So at any rate, I'm not pressuring anyone to buy anything. I'm just trying to share with you what I like. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. Here. Oh, got popcorn. I guess these 3 pieces of popcorn. Very useful. Awesome. This card, I was excited to get this one in. So the Stardate 2000 cards, which this one is. This is the EX Stardate 2000. These cards, obviously, I won't say obviously because I don't think everyone may be up on that, but they've been getting really popular recently, primarily because the Kobe card has really just gone crazy. So I kind of saw that as an opportunity to look at the other cards within the set. And of course, 96 being a decent rookie class with Allen Iverson, obviously, in that class, Ray Allen, Jason Kidd, and a couple others that are pretty notable. I definitely, you kind of, you see the boom of, the heavy hitters, like Kobe in this case, and you can kind of trace back the other guys too. So if you collect any of those other guys, which I do have a fondness for Ray Allen, I'm trying to get more into his stuff, because he was, on the Seattle Sonics for a while, so I actually got to watch him live play quite a few times when we were cool and had a basketball team. But anyways, so yeah, these are just great cards. I think they're gorgeous. I think the design is super cool. I can understand why the Kobe is very popular and very expensive now. So take a look at some of the other guys. Again, you can find them for a very fair price right now. That might not be true for much longer, as I think, as any popular sets and inserts go, once one goes, they all kind of start going. So take a look. I can guarantee you can find some of the other guys for, very, very, very low dollar amounts. So check that out. All right. Okay. Very cool. This one was something that I've been watching for a while, and I've seen I think there's only the second copy pop up on eBay over the last probably, I don't know, 6 months of kind of following the alerts for this card. But this is one of those kind of being a Russell as my PC, just one of those ones where it's like, it's not super expensive, but it's just kind of rare. It doesn't come up very often. But this was a rookie card of his that they produced in 2012, which is his rookie season. But it was produced for the Toronto Expo. So Panini creates cards for, you know, the different shows that they do, and they'll, you know, put them out, give them to people that, you know, are in their VIP parties, or, you know, just have giveaways or what have you. So this was one of 22 cards that they produced for this, and they numbered them out of 399. It's kind of hard to see there. You see it down there. So again, not like a super rare, you know, patch auto or anything like that. It's basically a, you know, base card, but the fact that it was made for a event, and of course in a limited quantity, 399, not the lowest number, but again, not the highest. And you got to imagine too, a lot of people that go to those events are collectors, so not too many of these may be leaving people's PCs, because I'm sure they understand the value in having these really short run cards. But I saw this one pop up, and it ended up going for a very fair price, I thought, and I had to have it. And I know it's not perfect condition. I typically am a little bit more stingy when it comes to cards, and this one's obviously cut off center, not super great, you know, left to right. Left is real heavy, top to bottom, the bottom is a little heavier. But again, it's just like one of those cards where it's like you don't see them very often, so no matter, you know, I mean, as long as there's not like a crease or anything in it, condition isn't always the most important thing. So I definitely wanted just to have this one to kind of check off my PC bucket list. So I grabbed it, and again, the price was good, and the card looks, you know, again, it's in decent shape. The corners are pretty sharp, and just the centering is a little beat, but other than that, you know, it's good. It's a numbered card. It's a Russell Wilson rookie. It's not something you can, you know, go buy a bunch of score boxes and pull it out of. It's, you know, was made for one specific event. So again, I think the kind of the rarity of it is gonna, you know, outweigh the condition on this one. So I'm excited to have this added to the registry. All right. Oh, cool. That's pretty cool. I was actually thinking about doing something like this. Is kind of adding like a little sticker to your cards when you sell them. You know, just kind of, I don't know, I think it's a nice touch. So I've gotten on not on a new one. I've been on it forever, but I just, again, starting to see Kobe as, you know, just something that I just need to own more of. And again, it's not like he's getting cheaper or going to get cheaper. He's just, you know, one of those guys like Jordan that, you know, it's just a blue chip freaking guy now at this point, where you can pretty much bank on anything of his continuing to go up. And especially as, you know, some of his milestones, you know, come up. You know, obviously the anniversary of his death is near. Again, I don't know how much that's going to affect his card values, but, you know, it's just going to kind of put him in people's minds, right? Just kind of like thinking about him, like, oh man, 1 year ago today stuff. You know, obviously there's been rumors of a documentary. How much do I think documentaries affect card values? I mean, I think a lot of people got on that train because of The Last Dance. And while I think there is some validity to it, I do think The Last Dance was kind of such a milestone of a documentary because it was released during a time when everybody was stuck at home. So I think it got that extra like bump of excitement. And there's also a reason why, you know, they bumped it up on the schedule, because they wanted to get it out there as soon as possible, because of the fact that people were just chilling at home and didn't have anything to do. So they released it early, and of course, you know, it coming out when it did was right in the first, you know, early stages of COVID, and everyone was just like yearning, I think it's the word, not earning, yearning for something to watch and to get into. So again, now when a new documentary comes out this year, when things are a little bit, you know, starting to turn the corner, hopefully soon, and everyone's getting back to normal-ish, you know, will it have the same effect that The Last Dance did? And my initial you know, idea is it might have a small little bit, but maybe not to the extent of The Last Dance, just because I think that's kind of a once in a lifetime sort of like, you know, perfect alignment of the sun and the moon and the stars to make something like that just go crazy. So I think Kobe will have a little bit of a bump, just because of the fact I think a lot of people are still very, you know, kind of feel that happened so recently, you know, that they definitely would be interested in tuning in and watching the documentary just to learn more. But I don't think it's going to be like the effect of The Last Dance as far as like price spikes, you know, when it comes to his cards. So anyways, there's my 30-second rant on that. But Kobe, this is his Fleer Ultra. I believe this is 98. Sorry guys, I'm usually better at remembering all this stuff, but yeah, so this is 98, 99 card, so third year, right? Yeah. So third year card, Fleer Ultra, but this is the gold medallion edition, as you can see from the embossed gold medallion edition right there. I just think this card is gorgeous. I just think it's a beautiful card. I think the picture is phenomenal. Like, I just think Kobe just looks you know, this is the way you want to remember Kobe, just like effortlessly, just floating through the air. Just, I mean, he's such a great player to watch. And, you know, I hated him as a player in the sense that he always whooped my team, the Seattle Supersonics, when we had a team. But in retrospect, I mean, you can't, this is like one of those guys that you love to hate him because of the fact that he's, you know, a rival of your team, but you realize how amazing he is, especially thinking back now. So this card's dope. I'm excited to have this card. I'm definitely probably gonna keep this one in my PC for a while. Even though it's a third year card, it's just a special card, and this looks really cool. I just think this, especially imagine this in a slab. It's gonna... More mail. Okay. So this is obviously a common card that you've seen on my channel, but it's definitely a different version. Again, these sets, you know, 2012 Score and others have a bunch of, you know, varieties of parallels for their cards. They have the base card, obviously. Then they have this, which is the glossy, they call it. So you can kind of see there in the reflection. It's a glossy finish, so a little bit of a shorter print than the base card, obviously. And then they also have, like you've seen me show, the different kind of other parallels, like the Gold Zone, I can't remember. Anyways, there's like 4 different colors and some other stuff. There's numbered ones, and then there's also a image variation as well, which basically I think it has Russell like kind of running versus throwing the ball. So yeah. So anyways, this is a, you know, a reasonably cheap pickup that, you know, was just another one I needed to add. So I think now I have 4 total parallels from this card. But yeah, a simple card. The glossies actually don't come up quite as often as you would think. The base cards come up really frequently, because I'm sure those were mass produced. But the glossies are, you know, here and there. They're not as frequent as the base. So I was happy to get this one. This one looks to be in pretty good shape. Definitely has a clean surface, and the centering is really clean. You know, the gap between the border here, so the thickness of the left border and the top border should essentially be the same. That's pretty much the quick and easy way to see if it's centered well. So anyways, this is a great card to have. Glad to have this in the old PC. All right, this one should be fun. This is from ComC. So I actually recently had a shipment sent to me from ComC in order to I wanted to get a couple of my cards that I had in their system out because I actually want to hold on to those and maybe grade them now that, you know, kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a change of heart, but just, you know, something I was like, yeah, maybe I should keep that card or whatever. And then a couple of these cards are cards I actually purchased in ComC as well. So we'll kind of look at each one individually. So this is one I've gotten before, but I haven't been able to get this one in great condition. It's been a little tricky. So this is Flair Showcase Shaquille O'Neal. I believe this is row, whoops, hold on a second. I'll put those to the side. This is row 2, row 1. So row 1, Flair Showcase. As you guys know, there's the, you know, row 3, row 2, row 1, and row 0, and 0 being the most rare. You know, so kind of like Select, where they have the, you know, the courtside, the Premier, the concourse, whatever it is, each level having a different rarity. So row 1's pretty good. It's not your super premium row 0, but it's still, you know, better than, you know, 2 the other ones. So I just really like this set, so I'm really hoping this one's in good condition. So I'm gonna take a look at that afterwards. So here's one that actually I sent in that I'm actually now thinking to keep for myself. So this is the Kubo rookie card. So Kubo's been doing some pretty good things. So I keep seeing his sort of name pop up and his prices jump a little bit. So I'm thinking about getting this one graded because I do think that there's a, you know, good potential of this being his true rookie card, that there might be some value in the future. So instead of selling it, I am going to hold on to that. A couple more. So picked up this. So this is what a row 0 looks like. This is the Bo Jackson Legacy. So actually this is different. So the base Flair Showcase is kind of what that Shaquille O'Neal was. This is the Legacy, which is like the highest in kind of collection from the Flair Showcase. So they do the same kind of, you know, numbering system, but this one actually, the row 0, it comes numbered. So this one is out of 100. So this is number 89 from 100. So this is a really cool card. Just really cool, the kind of shine on these and the fact that it's numbered. So now, you know, I got a lot of these Fleer retros now as far as the Bo Jacksons go. So I think I'm getting pretty close to having most of them. I might need one more color. And then speaking of Bo, I grabbed this because I think it's a really pretty color match on the, you know, the jersey. I'm sorry, not the jersey, but, you know, I mean the Royals colors, the kind of dark blue and baby blue with the Prism blue parallel. So I just thought it was really cool. I know Prism Baseball isn't really like a super sought after set, but, you know, seeing as this, you know, early Prism, you never know, it might go through that same renaissance that basketball went through, with people really being interested in the earlier sets. I just figured, why not? It was pretty cheap, and, you know, I think just the card itself looks quite beautiful. So sometimes, you know, there's nothing wrong with being romanced by a card's, you know, beauty versus its intrinsic value at the time. So I think that's kind of where my mind was at with this one. So grab this nice 2013 Prism Bo Jackson, you know, in his Kansas City fit. And then the final one that I got from ComC was this LeBron Fantasy Stars. This is the purple parallel. So this is, I thought it's cool because it's purple, you know, it's a nice, you know, kind of color match with the jersey, the Lakers jersey. So this is one I sent into ComC, and I was like, you know what, maybe I want to keep this one. So I'm probably gonna send this one in to get graded. I think it's a pretty cool insert from Optic. I cracked a lot of Optic. Honestly, to be real, like the only basketball I cracked in 2020 was Optic. I just kind of fell in love with the set, and I just bought quite a few mega boxes. I would probably say at least a dozen maybe or so, and opened those over the summer and whatnot. And, you know, they were still somewhat reasonably priced at that time, you know, so it wasn't too hard on me. But man, I'll tell you what, it's hard to pull some real high end stuff out of the megas. You're getting a lot, you know, you're getting maybe 1, maybe 2 silvers per mega, most likely 1. And, you know, everything else is just, you know, kind of just, you know, you get the pink, you know, stuff out there. But yeah, ultimately not the definitely didn't get my money's worth out of there. I think I got like one Zion and maybe like 1 or 2 Jaws out of all those boxes I opened. So yeah, it doesn't, definitely opening boxes is a risk, but this was one that at least, you know, I can say I pulled out of a box. I know it's in good shape. And again, after thinking about it, I was kind of, you know what, I think I'm going to keep this card. Get it slammed up. And because again, you know, seeing LeBron in the Lakers fit with the purple parallel, I think it just looks good. So anyways, there you go. Got another one. All right, this one is pretty cool. So this is a LeBron James rookie from the 2003-2004 Upper Deck rookie exclusive set. Pretty you know, not definitely, I would say, considered one of his, you know, premium cards by any chance of the imagination, but it's definitely a cool card that is still within that sort of obtainability for most people price range. You'll see on the screen here what I paid, but you know, they're nice looking cards. I know this set has, you know, this card specifically is pretty much the base card of all the LeBrons in this set, so definitely not hard to get your hands on this card. But you know, again, at this point, I think any LeBron rookie card, you know, especially if it says rookie on it, is a pretty good investment at this point. So just wanted to pick one of these up because I don't have one. This one isn't perfect. I would probably guess it's probably, you know, could pass for a 9 if, you know, if all goes well. But you know, it's a nice card. I like the picture. This set's pretty cool though. It has different variations of the, you know, the rookies in this. So there's a couple of different short printed variations of the card, and there's like autos and all kinds of stuff. But this is, again, just kind of the base card, the #1 card in the set, literally the #1, not like, you know, the best one, but the actual card number. So anyways, pretty cool card. LeBron rookie exclusives base card. Put this in the old LeBron PC. More mail. Okay. Got here a lot of painter's tape, which is good. And a lot of cardboard, which is good. Okay. All right. Oh yeah. So we got a Mr. McGregor here, Topps Chrome refractor. This is the 2018. So I think this is technically, now I can't, he's been fighting, you know, for a minute, but there's definitely been, you know, some fights that are, you know, pre his, you know, Topps card. So I think his first Topps card was technically 2017, but he probably did fight before that. Maybe he just didn't come out, you know, his card didn't come out at that time. But anyways, this one, I think personally, I think the 2017 is okay. Maybe we'll put it up here so you can kind of see. But this, I mean, this is such a dope card. Like, look at his stance, and I mean, just again, the card itself has to be cool too, in my opinion. You know, there's always the, you know, the debate for, you know, how much does the design account for, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if it's, you know, the card is sought after, it's sought after. Why does design matter? I think design matters because I think ultimately at the end of the day, we got to look at these things. You know, I mean, if you're just flipping things, you don't care, then that's one thing. If you're a collector, you know, you want things that you actually enjoy looking at. So I think this is probably one of the coolest UFC cards that have been made, as far as just, you know, the stance, the look, that, you know, I mean, you know, he's got all his tats. I mean, this is like a cool card. So anyways, this is my first refractor. I have a couple base Topps Chromes of his that have been off for grading for God knows how long. But yeah, this is my a nice refractor. You know, I got it for a fairly good price, so I'm hoping it's in good shape. It seems like this top loader has seen better days, so I'm hoping the card is in better shape than the top loader, but we'll see. But at any rate, got it for a good price, so definitely want to get this one slabbed up for the PC. I love UFC. I mean, I don't know. I think there's going to be a day here soon where UFC cards are going to see their see their hype as most all other, it seems like, sets have, not sets, but sports have recently. Now we got, golf, well, actually, I should say Tiger Woods specifically, but, kind of doing its thing. There was a little pop in like tennis cards over the summer, and obviously we all know about Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and all that. So, I think there's the natural progression of, going through sort of the popular sports and the popular, kind of pop culture, relevant things. And I think UFC's always been popular. It's a huge fan base worldwide, so I don't see why the cards wouldn't follow suit. Speaking of worldwide sports, I've definitely started, I collected a ton of soccer earlier in the year. Probably got, a good 40, 50 cards over at PSA right now, still waiting to get back. I did cross over this fella here, an Mbappe rookie, or 2018 Prism, quote unquote rookie, earlier this year, and crossed it from a BGS 9.5 to a PSA 10, so that was awesome. And I got another, I think a couple more cards of his as well, that are being graded. But I want to, I kind of feel like controversial subject to say anything like this, but I feel like Mbappe is on the trajectory to be, kind of in that arena of LeBron sort of ishness in the soccer world. Okay, I know there's Messi, I know there's Ronaldo, and those guys are obviously all-timers. You kind of put them, I kind of put them, like Messi more in that Michael Jordan arena. Maybe Ronaldo's kind of like the Kobe, and I kind of look at Mbappe as LeBron. So again, probably too early for Mbappe since he's only been in the league for 4 years or so, or not in the league, but playing on a high level. So it's still early, obviously, for him. But if you guys haven't seen, and this isn't why I'm making the comparison, but he just did a collaboration sneaker with LeBron, which I know Ronaldo has a contract with Nike, and I know he has his own kind of clothing line and stuff with Nike. But for Ronaldo to do a collaboration with a basketball player, I'm sorry, Mbappe, not Ronaldo. For Mbappe to do a collaboration with a basketball player, I think you're starting to see that crossover between soccer and mainstream sort of American sports enthusiasts, which once that is established, and once there's sort of that connection between enjoying soccer as an American, which there are plenty of Americans that enjoy soccer, but still it hasn't cracked the American psyche as much as baseball or basketball or football. Football is not even in like the top 10 worldwide watch sports. And it's really like an American only sport, and you can see the football market, sports card market is huge here. So just imagine if soccer can crack the code here. It's already got a big, obviously European following, and South America, and all over the place. So imagine when it cracks the code of America and becomes one of the most popular sports here as well. That could be big news for soccer. So anyways, that's my rant. I know everyone said it before, soccer is the next big thing, and it's going to be, it's the biggest sport in the world, blah, blah, blah. And I think we all are aware of that. But the question is when does that translate into the American hobby? And we saw a spike in the summer because of, I think just because everything was spiking, and, everyone was looking for the next new shiny object. And a lot of people were like, well, soccer, and so it caused a huge spike, and of course it came down. But I do think there's, I think during that spike, it might have, captured more fans and collectors, which is the positive. And so I think when it kind of starts to, get its legs behind it again, it could, it could go back, maybe not to where it was in its peak, but, show some significant gains. So again, I think there's a good time to pick things up. So this card in particular, it's nothing special. This is a pretty cheap insert. It's not a big card or anything, but I think it's a cool insert. I think, just kind of picking these low-end inserts are a good buy. Here's a quick mistake I made. I went on eBay and started looking at these, and they were fairly, in the ballpark of what I paid for it. For most of them, some were higher. Most of them were higher. I usually don't, obviously set, buy the highest one, but I bought it, for the price I showed here. And then shortly thereafter, I jumped on ComC, and the dang thing was like $4. So I picked up another copy on ComC. I was so mad at myself for not checking ComC before I pulled the trigger on eBay. So a good lesson learned is make sure you're checking multiple sites before you make a purchase, even a small purchase that you think is, you know, under 20 bucks, insignificant, whatever. My God, I could have gotten 4 of these on ComC for the same price I paid for it on eBay. So anyways, smart move to do is check all your selling outlets before you pull the trigger on anything, because you may save yourself a lot of money. And there you go. Let's see what we got in here. I feel like that was way too easy to open. Just like slap it on open there. All right. Oh, yes. I got one. I took the dive. Sorry, I'm taking a second because I just want to. I'm just like nervous about this card because it's so it's condition sensitive that I just am like, I hope this isn't just trash. Anyways, it looks okay. This is the Kobe Bryant EX 2000. This is the base card, but still a very valuable card because this is technically his rookie card, and it's yeah, it's a gorgeous card. Like I talked about in my other mail day videos, is that I really love this set. I think it's one of the more you know, I don't want to say well designed, just kind of like creative and cool sets from the 90s that I think that, you know, I don't want to say it's flown under the radar because it hasn't, because obviously the cards go for a pretty penny, but I definitely don't see as many collectors sharing these cards as you would expect for how cool they are. So, you know, one thing too, when I get my cards in, you know, I usually right away will go in and give them a quick clean and inspection, you know, just to kind of make sure everything's on the up and up before I, you know, intake it. Just, you know, because you never know if there's issues or anything like that. Could there be something like so significant that you need to probably contact the seller about, because, you know, it's obviously an issue. But you know, I mean, it looks decent. You know, there's a couple little scratches on the back, but that, I mean, that's pretty common for this card. And, you know, I think I paid a fair price for it. I paid the price what I would expect for it to get an 8, you know, and that's kind of what, you know, where my mind is at. You know, I spent a lot of time looking at these to make sure I get a copy that's not, you know, totally junk. I want to get one that could at least maybe get an 8, you know, that's my goal. You know, if it gets better than that, then that's just a bonus, you know. But I mean, my main thing is if I can get an 8, and especially, and I'm talking more so on the side of these 90s cards, right? I'll pay what I think is the fair market value for an 8 for one of these cards. I'm not paying more than that, just because, you know, as we all know, there's too many examples of, you know, you buy cards that are 30 years old that are just not in great shape. So always, I think it's a good piece of advice, I guess, is just, you know, when you're buying raw cards, you know, buy at the price that you feel that if it graded at, it would be worth. And always, I would say, bring your expectations down like one full grade, because that's probably where you're going to land. If you're looking for a card that looks like a 9, think that you're realistically going to get an 8 and then pay that much for that card. I don't know if that makes sense. But that's my little internal formula I use. So anyways, cool Kobe card there. I really love this card. You know, obviously anything Kobe to me is a buy right now. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely send this in, and you know, we'll see how she does. All right, where am I gonna put you? There you go. Okay, moving on. I don't know where the card is in this thing. I can't feel anything. Anyways, hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not where I'm about to cut. Doesn't feel like it. Okay. Oh yeah. Cool. Finally got my hands on one of these. I mean, if you guys have seen my videos, I'm probably at least 3/4 of the way through all the different Topps, you know, 2012 Russell Wilson cards. But for whatever reason, I kind of slept on this card until later than I should have. I should have grabbed this one early on when I was buying all the other base Topps cards. because they were pretty underpriced, and they still are, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, because this is a numbered Russell Wilson card, and you know, I mean, it's a numbered Russell Wilson rookie card, so I mean, it's definitely a good card to have for anyone. You know, granted, you know, me that PC's Russell. So this is the gold, and you know, Topps, you know, flagship cards, they always do the gold variation where they number it from the year that it was produced. So this is number 1724 out of 2012. I will say the back is god awfully off-centered, but the front is pretty darn centered. So good news is that PSA typically does 75-25 on the back as far as their guidelines versus, you know, 60-40 on the front. So I think I might squeak by, even though that looks pretty much 75-25. I don't know. Anyways, regardless, people care about the front. So, I mean, that's really where your bread and butter is when you're looking for these cards. But anyways, got this for a good price. I had an alert set up for this card. It doesn't come up very often, and when they do, they're either way overpriced or they're trash and have, you know, tons of damage to them. So got this one. I felt good about it. You'll obviously see the price on the screen here, but this is, you know, just one of those cards where it's a great flagship card of Russell, but, you know, obviously a lot harder to get than your standard base card. All right, next. Oh, bonus pack. Good old bonus pack. Well, at least it's basketball cards. Maybe it'll be something cool. Maybe it's Steph Curry. probably get 50 cents for it on ComC, man. There you go. All right, let's see what we got in here. Kemba, I mean, Westbrook. I mean, hey, Paul George. I mean, he sent some stars. Not Chris Paul, Durant, Curry. Come on. You know what? Out of all the filler cards I've gotten over the last probably 6 months, this has probably been one of the better ones. I mean, again, they're just base contenders cards, but they're 17. So, I mean, they're older cards. They're not like 1920. So, anyways, not getting too excited about it, but I thought it was cool. All right, here we go. Team USA. This is the one. This is what, you know, I'm kind of looking into for this year. With the Olympics coming up in July. If you haven't seen my video on Team USA basketball cards, I just dropped that not too long ago. And, you know, I think a lot of people aren't really paying much attention to it right now. So if you are one of those savvier investor collectors, I would recommend looking into these, because, again, you could get these for a fair price still. You'll see what I paid for this. Kobe Bryant, Team USA. You know, double whammy. You get Kobe's, you know, Hall of Fame inauguration, and sorry, not Hall of Fame inauguration. His anniversary of his death is obviously coming up. His documentary should be coming out this year, and, you know, the Summer Olympics. You know, so I mean, again, I'm not, you know, trying to, you know, minimize, you know, all the tragedy around Kobe, but, you know, it's like, you got to kind of just look at this market as sort of like, where are the eyeballs and where's the attention? And that's where the money flows. So, you know, we all know what happened last January with Kobe. So with that in mind, you know, obviously a lot of people are just naturally going to be thinking about Kobe, you know, at the end of January. So, you know, and also on Mamba Day as well, you know, and that's going to be the month after the Olympics. So, you know, I just think there's a good perfect storm. One thing I want to kind of show on this card real quick that I think a lot of people miss is the top to bottom centering is usually the tricky one on this, because it's hard to know. A quick trick that I learned was, if you look at the red bar on the top and the red bar on the bottom, those should be about the same thickness. So that was kind of my quick way to figure out top to bottom centering on this, because it is a little tricky. The left to right is hard too, but you can't, like, the USA isn't going to be centered. This is not going to show you the left to right. So you just got to kind of look at some of the PSA 10s. But the top to bottom is the one I noticed. A lot of people were selling them and had really awful top to bottom, but most people wouldn't notice because, you know, top to bottom is usually easy to tell by like a simple border. But on this card, it's a little trickier. So anyways, just a side note on that. Pay attention if you're looking at these prisms. And this is the 14-15, I believe. Yeah, so, oops, sorry, 15-16. 15-16 Prism. There's also LeBron in this, AD, Durant. There's some pretty good some players in this, and they have, of course, the parallels as well, which obviously fetch a pretty good dollar. So, yeah, take a look at these if you're interested. I think I can almost bet that I think we're going to see an uptick in Team USA stuff coming up here soon. So, keep an eye out. Okay, let's into this guy. Cool. So, another Kyle Lewis, of course. This is Bowman's Best. This is the Atomic Refractor, which has that kind of cracked ice sort of look to it. Oh, we can leave it there. Which I really like, and I think is very sought after. So I think a lot of people just are, you know, naturally kind of gravitate towards that design. So I wanted to get one of these, and again, it's just scooping up some nice cards for the off season of baseball here. So Kyle Lewis obviously is my main PC. You know, I collect a decent amount of baseball, but you know, of course, being a Seattle fan, I enjoy Seattle players, and I really like Kyle Lewis, and I think he's gonna do good things. So you know, you got your rookie card logo, you know, good looking card, the cracked ice look. I mean, checks all the boxes, right? So I think this is definitely a good keeper for the PC. So I'm excited about that. All right, moving on. Okay. All right. Oh, cool. So this is a nice insert I picked up from 93-94 Fleer Ultra. So this is second year Shaq. One of the probably more popular inserts because of the Michael Jordan that was part of this set, which, you know, goes for a pretty high premium. So, you know, again, when you see certain cards that are at a high premium, looking for their, you know, kind of second tier of players in that set is always a good move, I think, because I think whenever a set has a lot of attention on it, you can find some value in the second tier players. So the Scoring Kings here, really beautiful foil card. I knew this one wasn't in perfect condition when I got it, so I was already aware from the pictures that there was a couple issues. So, you know, the main thing I look for when I get it is the surface, to make sure there's no significant surface damage, like any big dents or anything, which would cause for pretty bad grade, obviously. But yeah, pretty nice card. I definitely trying to get some more of these because I really think the set's cool. The lightning, obviously, like I said before, it's just for some reason a cool look. So yeah, I'm gonna look at this one a little bit closer afterwards and just make sure that it's in good condition. So there you go, 93-94 Scoring Kings. And I got a couple packages from Topps. I'm assuming these are probably the next waves of the Steve Aoki sets. So we'll see, and if so, we'll crack those. See if we can do better on these ones compared to the last ones. I'll also open this one too, since I think they're the same thing. But yeah, I'm gonna, once I get all these in, I think we're gonna pluck out the nice rookie cards and get those off for grading. I'm trying to get as much ahead of the baseball season as possible, so I think right now baseball's heating up in the market, and I think a lot of people are starting to get their picks for baseball and starting to pick up their cards. We've seen a lot of increases in certain players. So, all right, let's see what we got. So again, Aoki Topps special edition set. They did not note what wave was what on the boxes, so again, it makes it a little funny, but you know, it is what it is. So again, there should be a 25 card set with one parallel of one of the cards in the 25 from this set. So before, I'm guessing, so I got one wave 1. I'm guessing these both would be wave 3. I'm gonna have to double check though, but because I've gotten the wave 1 and the wave 2, so I think if they're just kind of mailing them out in sequential order, then that would make sense. All right, so cool. Okay, so we'll just kind of go through it. So the first card, and again, these are sequential, they're in set order. So the second card is going to be your parallel for this. So first card, Juan Soto. Oh wow, we got an actual numbered card. I yet to get one of these, so very cool. So this is Nolan Arenado, and this is the 10 of 77. So I don't know what he has, like different colors or ice cream or whatever, but this is one of the parallels. So the only ones I gotten before were just the basic foil parallels, but they actually have numbered parallels too. So very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna set this down. That's a nice one. All right, so the rest of them will just be your base, but I think this set has some really strong base in it. So you got Soto, Tatis, Corey Seager, and then there's Nolan. So that's the parallel we got. Yu Darvish, Benintendi, Lindor, Gleiber, Keston, Byron Buxton, Manny Machado, Chipper Jones. That's cool. And Ichiro, of course, you know, being the Mariner. And these are like, then they go into your sort of legends here, right? So you got Hank, Brett, Rivera, Frank Thomas, Ozzie Smith, Randy Johnson. I kind of wish they would have put him in the Mariners, but I get it. He did more with the Diamondbacks. And then the rookie. So again, Kyle Lewis is in this set, so that's definitely one I'm going to be grading. Dustin May, Quino, Yamamoto, AJ, and then Randy Arozarena. So yeah, I think this is probably, so far, I would say out of the different waves, this one's probably the strongest as far as the actual players in the set itself. So I think that's cool. I'm happy to get that parallel. I mean, it's not, you know, it would have been great if that would have been a rookie, but you know what? I'm not complaining because previously I gotten 2 freely foils out of the other set, so not the most exciting. So there we go, there's one, and let's check the other one. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely, I think what my plan is, I'll probably, the sets that I have doubles of, I'll probably break the double and then, you know, do, that's weird. They don't have the quality control tops. They don't have the little foam piece on top to protect the cards. Because the other ones you saw had the foam on the top and the foam on the bottom. But this one just has it on the bottom, so that's not good. Anyways, so I'm going to break my doubles and then, you know, get the singles probably graded and then probably keep the complete set on this other side. We'll see though. I don't know how, you know, how much the hobby's going to, you know, like these. Well, there we go. The first card stuck to the top, so we get to see the foil card, the parallel, which is Jackie Robinson. So I mean, that's cool. There we go. Jeez. So this is actually wave 4. So interesting. I thought I would have got my second wave 3 cent, but that was what I had purchased. I purchased all 4 waves, and I purchased doubles, I believe, of wave 3. So anyways, we'll go through this. So my parallel is Hammer and Hank. Oh no, sorry. Jackie Robinson. Sorry, mixing up my legends there. Aaron Judge, and then Kershaw, Abreu, Altuve, Chapman, Rizzo, Fried, Snell, Ohtani, Yelich, Bauer, Mark McGuire, Pudge, and then there's Jackie again, Andrew Dawson, Jose Canseco, Yastrzemski, Jeter, Willie Mays, and then your rookies, Williams, Justin Dunn, Kim, and then Hunter, and then here's your Luis Robert. So, you know, I would say wave 4, besides the Luis Robert, you know, it's probably, obviously, a lot of people are chasing this wave because of that, but I think wave 3 is way better as far as the rookies go. So, anyways, yeah, it's really weird they didn't put the foam in there. I couldn't tell you. All right, well, there you go. That is the Topps Aoki. That's a wrap. Right, another mail day, another large number of purchases over the week. Obviously, I have not slowed down one bit, and I am excited to keep on keeping on and getting cards and you know, doing things. So thank you everyone for watching. I know it's a long video, but again, I hope it's something that you got something from, and continue to look for videos at least twice a week, and I will see you on the next one. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like the video, do all the things. It makes a lot of sense for me because I just continue to do these, and I hope that people appreciate them, and by doing that small gesture, it shows me you appreciate them. So anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.